All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Tammi Red. I'm from Ramapo College of New Jersey, which is New Jersey's public liberal arts college. I'm actually in the College of Business, which is called the Annisfield School of Business. But I'm also the director of our Faculty Resource Center, which is, I guess, similar to the teaching and learning centers that most colleges have, or that most of you guys would have. Today, I'm actually going to talk to you about a course that I designed last summer in response to the pandemic. Specifically for incoming business majors who were going to be freshmen in September, I offered a 5-week course in August 2020 to prepare them for entering college during a pandemic, right? So just to give you a little background of where we were, where our heads were at Ramapo when we came up with the idea for this course. We had just finished the spring 2020 semester and had transitioned from being fully face-to-face to being 100% virtual at Ramapo. Most people were just still dizzy from, completing the spring semester. I'm sure you all remember what that was like, just being thrilled that the semester had ended and hoping that maybe we would all be face-to-face on campus again. Similar to Ileana's university, we were also about to launch our transition to Canvas LMS from Moodle. So that was going to start in September as well, but we had no idea whether or not we would be virtual in the fall. So there's this possibility that not only were we launching this new learning management system, but we would also be teaching full semester, virtually in the fall. And we didn't know if that would be happening. So our first response was at the end of the semester in May, we held a 2-day training for faculty to kind of discuss best practices, what went great, what went wrong, and what can we change if we do have to be virtual in the fall. The little cartoon characters, their faces are pretty accurate because everyone was just completely overwhelmed, right? And so, the faculty reactions ranged from, that was amazing, I can't believe that we were able to do that, we were actually able to do some really great things online, to those who maybe weren't so technologically savvy, and they were all thinking, what kind of, witchcraft and sorcery will I need to accomplish to get, my fall semester off the ground if we do have to go virtual. And so, throughout the summer, we had a series of training programs for faculty to learn different teaching technologies through our Instructional Design Center, but also through my Faculty Resource Center. But then we started thinking, we've gotten the faculty training side of it down. How will we prepare these freshmen who are coming in to experience their very first semester of college, perhaps, on different platforms that they had never seen before, at a higher academic level than they've ever experienced before. What could we design for them to better prepare them for the fall semester? And so as a result, what we did was we ended up creating 6 courses campus-wide that would serve as training for the incoming freshmen before the fall semester started. This would give them 5 weeks of being exposed to their major field or area, but also built into that course, it would give them an opportunity to learn the different technologies hands-on in a way that would allow them to kind of hit the ground running come September. So, the first goal really was to make sure that as the students were transitioning into their first semesters, that they were okay in terms of digital literacy. I mean, we always assume that, students they're younger than us and they're technologically savvy and they know how to do all of these things. The truth of the matter is that they're extremely technologically savvy when it comes to Twitter and Instagram and social media platforms. But when it actually comes to recording a video, downloading a video, posting a video, giving a professional presentation virtually, those types of things, they actually needed a little bit of scaffolding from us along the way. We also wanted to connect them to resources that hopefully they would see in face-to-face on campus at some point, but also that some of the resources they could access electronically as well. And then, of course, to link each student to their major, just general topics of that field. So we had a course in arts and humanities, social sciences, public health, because one of our largest programs at Ramapo is our nursing program, and then also topics in life sciences. So the course that I taught was the business basics course. And so what I'm about to share with you is kind of how the course was organized and how we tried to link, you know, general business topics to some of the resources the students would use on campus, but then in turn linking them to and giving them experience with several different types of classroom technologies. So again, they could, you know, hit the ground running come September. So in the business basics course, it was only a 5-week course, so I kind of had to be very specific in picking and choosing some general topics that they would certainly see within their gen ed courses, their general education courses, as well as business as a major, whether they went into marketing or accounting or whatever it was. So the 5 areas that I chose to focus on were the types of careers that are available to them in business, organizational visions and mission statements, sustainability, business ethics, which is also a course that I teach, but then also international business, because I figured this might be an area that some of them would be interested in going into. And so if you look at the list on the left, those are the course topics that I chose. But what I had to do was I had to be really creative in linking those course topics to something that I wanted them to learn about Ramapo as a college, because they wouldn't be on campus like your typical freshman. They weren't going to get to walk the halls. They weren't going to be able to walk through the student center. They weren't going to be able to walk into the library. There's so much that they would be missing out on, but I still wanted them to feel like they were part of this Ramapo, you know, college community. So I was trying to connect them to those resources as well. And so you could see like careers in business. I talked to them about business careers, but I also connected them to our Cahill Career Center, where they learned how to write the freshman year resume. And so each one of these business topics was linked to another part of the college campus. That way they can get to know something about the college while also learning a general business topic and how it relates. I think I heard the little chime. Did I hear the chime?
Oh, but actually you have 2 minutes. I was just
Okay.
about to hit the button.
Okay, so I'll flip to the next slide. And so keeping these course topics in mind, what I did is that for each one of these areas of the college I wanted to get them to know, I had them do an assignment having to do with that topic using one of the technologies that you see on the screen. Our college, for video conferences and for the purpose of course delivery, we use Cisco WebEx. That's what our license is for. But because we are a liberal arts college, we have majors and courses in the arts. And it seems though the arts tend to focus on using Zoom. And Zoom is actually more compatible with, say, musical performance and those types of things. And then there are also our folks in humanities who seem to gravitate towards Google Meet. So it was really interesting because some of the feedback that we got when we surveyed the students in the spring was that they were kind of frustrated with not knowing how to use some of these different interfaces. So I purposely, we met every other week in class, and every week that we met on a different platform so that everyone can learn how to use those features. I also had designed some assignments that would familiarize them with Canvas, video discussion boards using Flipgrid, but also because Canvas has that built-in interface as well. And then the final technology that I was able to teach them was a software called Textmythnomia, which allows you to record video presentations with your PowerPoint slides displayed while you're talking. That way they would be able to do a class presentation, you know, very easily. And so some of the outcomes that I was able to see was it looked like they were much easier able to collaborate student to student or in teams than they were in the spring. And that might be a product of the fact that I understood better now how some of the collaboration worked in terms of screen sharing, putting them into breakout rooms, and whether or not they could actually see each other. You know, there was a learning curve for me as well. But also now they had that flexibility of transferring from one platform to another very easily. but also, to have the confidence in not being afraid to use some of these technologies. With each of the video conferencing softwares, we were able to integrate assignments like using whiteboards and sharing them in these breakout rooms. Microsoft Whiteboard, WebEx has its own whiteboard, Zoom has its own whiteboard, Microsoft Teams has its own whiteboard. And so they would need to know how to use all of these things. Some of them learn this firsthand by interviewing for jobs or doing group interviews on these video conferencing websites. So the goal was to make them, better prepared and comfortable. Once September started, whatever they faced, they would be able to handle it accordingly. So thank you.